about Greenlight Cinema, Fargo Review, Episode 6. Hopefully we'll be able to get the whole episode done. If not, I'll break it up into parts. Let's see how we can go.
I noticed things were dark in this episode, so I'm gonna turn on this light for this episode. So,
let's start this review. Well, I hope you guys are doing well with the whole quarantine thing. Yes, I'm wearing a Toy Story shirt. I know that's probably really going to be distracting, but I chose this shirt because I love this shirt. I miss my kids, but nothing more embarrassing than seeing a grown-up man-child wearing a Toy Story shirt, but that's where we are in society. Alright, so let's get cut to this review, shall we? Alright, I got my notes. So, we first start out this episode with Ed and Peggy, and it's at their house, and Lou is taking Ed into custody while Hank is actually staying there with Peggy.
No, listen, you're so out of lecture. You can't just ruin people's lives. No, parade them around Main Street for something they didn't do, falsely accused. No. Peggy. No. You're not going to prove my Ed did anything wrong. It's unprovable.
Unprovable! I love that. I thought it was funny. Cut to, now we go to a little sweet scene. I just want to mention it. It's nothing really big, but Lou, you see Lou, he's got Ed in the custody. Noreen's there too at the station, and it's a little sweet scene between him and Betsy.
Heard about the fire. You okay?
He didn't have to come down. Somerson.
Ed, I'm worried about you. Feels like the tap might just spin right off the globe these days and take you along with it. What's that for?
I'm just imagining you parachuting into the Macon Delta, telling the black pajamas to leave your husband alone.
Shoulda. Could've saved a lot of lives if wives and mothers on both sides came and dragged their full men home by the ear. Anything I can do to help this mess?
Yeah, you can.
I love this scene for a couple reasons, because, you know, it's back in the day and people just don't do stuff like they do, and it builds to Lou's character and Betsy's. You can really see and tell who they are
Told him what you said.
to take Noreen in.
Come home soon.
We both know that's not likely.
Them two, they really are like a real couple. Real chemistry. I love it. You know what I mean? So, cut to, now we see Charlie, and he looks terrified and scared. And you really feel for this character. Again, real characters, real people we believe, you know. So we see Charlie calling Bear, and Bear's about to get a phone call. And Dodd's about to get a fight that he's not ready for, about to see coming.
5 minutes.
But before we see this really explosive fight scene that's kind of awesome, we see a little sweet scene also with, I'm saying sweet a lot in this episode, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to apologize for that in advance. So we see Bear, and he's talking to Otto, his dad, about Elron, the firstborn, and he's kind of just talking about him and what would he do.
What would he do now? You know? Now with this. She was the oldest, right? Not Dad. What?
Charlie's on the phone.
And here we get some more narcissistic advice from Dodd. But him and Simone are two of alike. But this tension quickly gets broke by Bear. Simone's like, yeah, get him, Bear. But then this fight's abruptly broken up by Hansi.
Better stop now. Okay.
You've been asking for it for days.
Take your man, walk away.
Now
We'll
it's
see.
time. You're getting the belt, kid. Strap or buckle.
You think your Bill was dead?
Now Dodd
The kid said
attempts
he was
to
ready.
get revenge
Says
back
to be
on Bear.
family that pulls the
The
trigger, which is
Bears
true.
say that was their dad's belt buckle. He's wearing their dad's belt. I thought that was weird. I just had to write that down in my notes.
Now, see, I
Dodd
don't
gives
see-
him the speech,
I see her
you know,
point.
about stowing away on a boat, their grandfather, whatever,
grandpa.
compared to you, whatever,
Right,
or me,
Grandpa,
what we ever did.
who stows away
And
a
then
boat, comes to America,
Floyd
builds an
breaks
empire.
it up, breaks that fight up, and then she has plans and demands.
Arm or no arm.
None of your bullshit! Now tell me, you'll kill us all, you split this family apart! Now tell me what happened.
We see the Gerhardt army loading up. That's what I'm going to call them, because that's what Simone called them. And this is kind of a thing for me. I wanted to write this down. This is the last time that we see the Gerhardts as a whole, without excluding Rye. I'm not talking about him, but we've got familiar with Simone. We've got familiar with Dodd, Bear, Floyd. Otto a little bit, kind of moving. It gives me chills and it makes me sad. So Floyd gives out her instructions, and then Simone gets right on the phone and calls Mike Milligan. And here we have Simone giving out the whole spilling the beans, so to speak. She's telling everything. And says that all the Gerhardts left, the whole army and everything. And then cut to, we're going to hear the Jabberwock monologue from Mike Milligan and the Kitchen Brothers.
The others, where are they headed?
They're going to that town in Minnesota where the judge.
Laverne.
Yeah.
Any last message for your dad? When I see him.
Tell her she can kiss my grits.
Tell him. Kiss my grits.
'Twas brillig.
I love this scene right here because we not only see Kansas City preparing and driving on the road, but we also see the Gerhardts. And we see a little bit of, I believe Hansi's driving the truck with Ace Dodd. He's in the passenger. Everyone's got intentions. Everyone's thinking. We see Bear driving. We know he's thinking about Charlie. They cut to, we see a little bit of Charlie. And it also shows Simone. It looks like she might even have a little bit of sympathy, maybe. And feel guilty for what she did, which she ought to, because this is the train. The Gerhardts.
The Jabberwock with eyes of flame.
No, I mean, that's terrible. But what can it, attempted robbery and those 2 minutes.
Oh, it wasn't a robbery, Peggy. Those men came for your husband. They came to kill him.
You don't know that for sure, Sheriff. You're just trying to be dramatic, trying to scare
I
me.
assure you, I am not. And when I say 5 dead, I'm only talking about inside the city limits. Reports are 15 more bodies up in Fargo. This is a turf war between the Kansas City mob and this Gerhardt family you gotten yourself mixed up with.
Stop saying that. Me and Ed, we're just bystanders. Not even, disconnected. Him with the shop and me just trying to actualize fully, you know? Be the best me I can be, because these are modern times, you know? And a woman, well, she just doesn't have to be a wife and a mother no more. She can be, there's nothing she can't be.
You're a little touched, aren't you?
Meanwhile, we are
There's
here
nothing wrong
with
that.
Hank
Don't get me wrong.
and Peggy. Hank and
It's just
Peggy, I'll
a
tell you what.
time and
Anyway,
place in which
we're
you're
here
in.
with them, and he sees a little bit of her weird
Maybe I don't
OCD
see it all like
quirks,
everybody else,
and
but I got plans.
about,
And
moving the
we've
magazine, she
got
kind of
plans,
gets
and
onto
you
him,
can't just come in
and
here
he's
and
trying to help
derail.
her, like,
They tried to kill
to
your
let
husband.
the gravity of all the
mean, they burned down his
craziness,
shop.
of what's going
You think
on,
that's
like,
the end of it?
sink into her brain. But, like, that's not happening
Well, I mean,
here at all. And
well,
she's
right?
not caring,
Ed, he
or
really-
she's either
he
not
left that
caring or
place.
just not believing. I'm not really
What?
sure, maybe a little
Life's
bit
a
of
journey,
both.
you know?
But nothing's
That's what
breaking
John
through
Hanley
to
Sr.
her.
says. He's the founder of Leaf Spring. Life's a journey, and the one thing you don't do on a journey is stay in one place.
Before you before you start making plans, you should know I got a forensic team coming down from the Twin Cities in the morning. And I know it's been repaired. But we're going to check your car for blood. Microscopically, I mean. Which, you'd be amazed at what we can find on the atomic level these days.
No. I mean, yeah, you can't do that, of course, without permission from the owner, you know, so...
Oh, we got permission. About an hour ago. You sold the car to Sonny Greer, didn't you? Earlier at the body shop. And Sonny now is the owner of record. And he was more than happy.
No, you can't. That's... Hold on.
Yep, Hank's got all this put together, him and Lou.
Better you tell me, before I get a fistful of evidence, what happened that night when you hit Rye Gerhardt with your car.
So cut 2, now we have Lou interrogating Ed. And Ed, he's kind of talking about Maureen's book or whatever, and like, pretty much he says, you know, whatever comes his way, he's going to fight for what's his family is what he's talking about. And Lou kind of, I feel like, relates to him, and then he mentions, he's like, hey, Ed, he's like, this is all too important, Lou. He's like, I want a lawyer. Cut to Carl Weathers. And I tell you, I could talk about Carl Weathers I could just make this whole review about Carl Weathers and his character.
You gotta understand, we're just trying to, I'm just trying to protect my family. Noreen's book, it's like stuck in my head.
What book?
It's about this guy. But he doesn't stop. You know, he keeps going. And he wakes up every day and he starts pushing. By which I guess I'm saying it doesn't matter what they throw at me. I'm gonna take care of what's mine. I want a lawyer, and if he says, then I'll talk.
I love how bored Sonny looks hearing Carl's endless knowledge. Cut to the best character, Carl Weathers, and the best and only lawyer around. We got Percy here, who's came to get him or let him know that he's needed for Ed, and you know, Carl, being as proud as he is, he's like, you hear that, Sonny? He's like, they're gonna need me, and he gets Sonny to drive him, thank goodness. And
I'm a little unstable. There, Carl? Want me to tell Lou you need a few hours?
Need you to drive, however.
And meanwhile, nothing happens. Our characters are just thinking or going someplace. Well, they're going to Laverne. And then the most brilliant question is asked by Hank Larson.
My question for you is, how come after you hit that fella, you didn't just drive to the hospital? Or wave down a passing motorist and ask him to call the cops?
Yeah, like these things.
Well, her response isn't very helpful. It's actually a little bit more confusing than why she even hit Ryan in the first place, if I'm being honest with you. I guess she just killed him because she was bored and wanted to change her life. Dang, Peggy, you cold, girl. You cold. You cold, girl.
I'll tell you what. If it was me and we had to run, I wouldn't look back.
Well, the Gerhardts have just arrived. Dodd and his gang of men.
Go inside now, baby. If you got a hiding place in the basement or the attic, go to that.
What about you?
Go now. And don't come out, no matter what you hear.
Don't come out no matter what you hear. Hank, he's so brave. So this scene's really heating up and getting very intense now. We got a lot going on here. We're going to see this confrontation with Dodd and Hank, and Hank's trying to be on guard, trying to keep us cool, and trying to not be too intimidated by Dodd and his men. And we got Hansi kind of sneaking around from the back and coming in the inside, and he gives Hank a good old knockout with his gun.
Help you fellas with something?
Hope so. Ed home?
Ed who? Oh, Ed. Yeah. Yeah, you just missed him. Whole squad took him to the station about an hour ago. And that's the well-guarded and impenetrable police station on Hazel Lane. Which, don't let the name fool you, is a fortress.
Or maybe he's inside and you think I'm stupid.
Son, I could fill a steamer trunk with the amount of stupid I think you are, but no, that's where he went.
Here we go.
No, hey.
Said the butcher's down at the precinct. Could be bullshit. Take Polk and Carter. I'll clean up here.
Here we see Dodd and his men going down the steps to find and look for Peggy and all her fortress of cluttered mess. However, we find out none of this goes as planned. And now Peggy murders one of his men off camera.
Shut up, you fool.
And he just killed his other man.
Shit.
Murdered by a sink. Dang, Peggy, you cold.
When I find you, darling, I'm gonna make you bleed.
Ooh, that looked rough, man, even for Dodd. So, cut to now. We have a very important conversation here with Floyd and Simone, and she addresses her and talks to her in a very important manner. You need to be on our side, definitely, for sure. And then out of nowhere, attack on the Gerhardts. That's actually what they call the song in the background. Music done by Jeff Russo. Love his stuff.
Are you with us?
When you say us,
I mean the family. Oh. You don't get to pick and choose.
Sure, Grandma.
We all got a role to play. You need to take my example. Be a leader. This is our time. No such thing as men's work, women's work anymore. We get just as much right to...
Explosive, oh man. Alright, well, so Mr. King of Breakfast has made it to the Hall of Pilgrimage of Veterans, and he is ready to run circles for a positive affirmation. I am slightly inebriated. That's my best, Carl Weathers. Back to the show. You enjoyed this?
Yeah, he's
and
trying.
if you did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already.
The
And
jackboots are
thinks all
patting
that's
him.
taken
Cut
care
to
of,
it,
just
yeah.
like that.
Blue and
And now he's
Might
on his way to
and
go talk to the judge, or so he
Virginia.
thinks.